All right. We've got what could be another quick one here. I'm getting the word out about the stream. Boom. So we've got Eroth here playing Sabine, and Jorge the Boomer here playing Palp1 Blue. This is top 16. Winner of this gets a spot in the top 8. Here are the deck lists. They're also in the description on Substack if you want to take a look at them yourself. This is Jorge's list. It is Palp1, which notoriously has had a pretty bad matchup into Sabine. So, sure. All right, they want me to roll the die for initiative. And Eroth got it. All right. Speaking of Eroth, here's his list. It's Sabine. I mean, like every other Sabine deck, it's got no new cards from Twilight. The title is I Am Sorry, and yeah, well, we'll see. No shade to Eroth for bringing it. It's it's a good deck, and I think it's pretty well positioned here. But we both know it's kind of boring. Been done before. I think there are 4 different Sabine decks in the top 24. I think none of them are running any new cards. All right. Good luck to both these players. All right. And this is not what you want to see as Jorge. Eroth goes to ground. Jorge goes to space. Jorge does have phase 3 Dark Trooper, which is like a pretty solid play on turn 2 here. Oh, and he gets a second one off the top rope here. But Eroth's going to be able to play out... Yeah, he's going to play out Fleet here. Hit for 5. All right, and there's the Dark Trooper, which is probably going to force Eroth to claim if... yeah, Eroth does claim here. I was going to say if he didn't, Jorge but should probably forego the Inferno 4 attack. But Jorge does claim there, basically making it so. No reason not to attack with Inferno 4 there. And now Eroth's in a position where he can go ECL K2, clear the Dark Trooper, and then both these units are going to have a clear path to the base. Jorge does have an interesting follow-up play to that, which is play the second Dark Trooper, and that trades with one of the units, and then you can use Palp1 to throw Inferno 4. But it looks like Eroth is conserving his ECL, not even going for the K2 there. Just ramming the fleet into the Dark Trooper. And instead we're going to see Red 3 come down here in space. That's an interesting move. All right, and the response here is Dark Trooper and into Salacious Crumb here. But, I mean, remember, Red 3 is going to buff this Sabine leader. So now the Sabine leader can take out the Dark Trooper and survive. And then the Sabine unit's going to get a direct hit on the base. Yep. Yeah, I think Jorge just forgot about that. That's a big miss. And after this, Eroth also has a Metal Ceremony that he can play on both these Sabines. And that's massive. Calculating Magna Guard is is not bad. I think you would have liked to see it earlier. But it's fine here. But let's see. So I mean, Jorge's got takedown, which clears any of these units. His choice. But it leaves both the other two, and it's gonna be Sabine. That's the choice. Remove here. All right, so Inferno Force is going to crash into the red 3 there, leaving it with 1 health left, just enough to be taken out by the Palp ability. Eroth's also got a Darksaber in hand, which I think he's considering just playing the Darksaber onto this Sabine. Okay, or playing the K2. Both those are good plays here. And it's going to be the K2. And it looks like without the ECL. All right, Palp1 is then going to throw that crumb into the... into the red 3. So, I mean, Jorge's making progress. All things considered, like, this isn't the worst position to be in. It is pretty rough, but I mean, 13 health remaining is, you know, it's a decent amount. There's Yularen. It's going to make it even more. With the Super Laser in hand, if Jorge goes for that, he can flip Palp1 next turn. But, oh, Darksaber coming down onto the K2. All right, there's a Super Laser, which is going to get a heal here. But how much damage is going to be off this Rebel Assault? It's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14? I think it's just going to be a game this turn. Yeah, there's nothing you can do. Because that's... Yeah, that's going to be lethal through the Sabine ping. So, all right. All this was for naught. And Eroth doing what was expected of him. Taking a very quick game 1 here. All right, let's take a look at sideboards while we can. Eroth's got some interesting stuff here. He's got some stuff for games that are expected to go long. Ewings, Adelphis. He's got Daring Raids in there also. I don't think Wolf is particularly relevant in this matchup. I don't think Jorge has too many healings. He's also got the second copy of Timely Intervention. Which could come in here. On Jorge's side, he's got 2 copies of Make an Opening. He's also got 2 copies of Power of the Dark Side, which are in the sideboard here and not the main. So we might see those come in. I would expect to see them, and then he's got some spaceships, which are there for the control matchups. This deck overall by Jorge to me it looks really, really interesting. It's definitely geared towards control matchups, though. And I think it would beat pretty much any control deck in the meta right now. With, 2 Reinforcement Walkers, 2 Avengers, 1 Relentless Main, and 2 Devastators, and 2 more Relentless and another Devastator, and 2 Pulse Returns on the side. It is absolutely loaded for control decks, but just Jorge's luck that he gets stuck with the Sabine in top 16. And it looks like we're getting ready for game 2 here. And Jorge defy expectations and pick up the reverse sweep here. All right, Power of the Dark Side's in there. We know that. Power Pike Sentinel into either. It looks like it's gonna be Pike Sentinel into resupply or theoretically power. Eroth's still deciding on the resource here. Pike Sentinel can be a good card into Sabine, or it can also provoke like, it can provoke an ECL early, which sometimes you're fine seeing. And there's Pike, and it is gonna be matched by Sabine, not with ECL. But the Sabine still does just trade with it on its own. And it looks like Jorge decided to go back on his resource decision and give away that resupply. So now he's got to play either removal or the Dark Trooper here. It's hard for control decks to play into aggro sometimes without either ECL or Childson, and this deck has neither of them, which makes things a bit rough. But I mean, Jorge, had a great answer early on with that. That power prevents the wing leader from coming down. Now he's got to find a way to deal with. It looks like he's just going to play the second power here. Clear the fleet lieutenant. Yep. And this Pike Sentinel is going to gum up the ground arena for this turn, at least. Unless Eroth decides to use the these. Oh, I guess Eroth could just go wing leader, and then that clears over the Pike Sentinel. Yep, and that's what happens. Ooh, Palpatine's return actually making an appearance here. Jorge also picks up an overwhelming barrage, but with no targets for it. Oh, come on. All right. All right, there we go. We got that fixed. Sorry about that. TTS just has difficulties like that sometimes. All right. Yeah, you're still unresourced. Okay, so he's going to resource the second Poe. He's got ECL Poe online. Jorge's got a Dark Trooper, but, I mean, the ECL Poe just answers that one pretty cleanly. Doesn't even need to do that, though. Just going to walk Sabine over the Dark Trooper. and then spam a couple small units here. All right, I mean, Jorge he's surviving here. He doesn't really have a strong play immediately, but he's got, you know, Vader, Super Laser Blast. Those are things that can stabilize later. He just needs to survive a couple more rounds. It looks like right now is he can go Black Sun, which holds off the wing leader in space. He's going to take 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 on the ground, which is a lot, but, you know, it could always be worse. All right, there's Salacious Crumb, going to make it one less. Although Crumb being there now opens the door to ECL. Palp1 is actually going to foreclose that opportunity and kill the wing leader. And here's Poe on the board. The ping damage from the Fighters for Freedom actually counteracts the what do you call it? Salacious Crumb heal. All right, Vader time. Jorge's got a cushion of 12 health left. He's gotta find something big here. But it's hard to find something big that is still big after ECL. All right, and he gets Pike, Salacious Crumb. So that's going to heal him 1. Force some kind of response here. And he gets to run over a unit of his choosing with Vader, but it can't be Poe. Probably going to be Sabine. Maybe Ego Fighters. It's going to be Fighters, yeah. Okay. Wait a minute. Sabine's got 4. I don't know. I probably would have gone for Sabine there. In fact, almost certainly I would have. There is there is some kind of reason to go for Fighters there, but it's kind of weak. So, can Eroth get to lethal this turn? I think he can. Or it's going to be close. So we go ECL, K2. Yep, and that's going to happen. That gets 1 Overwhelm. And that leaves open the door for 5, 6, 7, 8, plus 6. Yeah, this is lethal. All right. And in another very quick one, a Sabine defeats a Palp1 here. I was kind of excited to see these Palp1 control decks, do well in this cut, but so far the Sabines have eaten right through them. All right, thank you everyone for tuning in, and remember to always take the initiative. Here's the bracket before we go. It's still updating. But Eroth is going to make it on to the top 8. Yeah, there we go. Hippo and other Sabine players already made it to the top 8. But yeah, we should have the Buku versus Two Moons match. The recording of that's going to go up tomorrow. I'm keeping the result here to avoid spoilers, but it will be going up soon. The rest of these matches, I don't believe we have any further matches scheduled, but I'll keep you tuned. Remember to if you enjoyed the video, like the stream and subscribe, and feel free to leave a comment. Also, thank you for tuning in.